What is up, everyone? It's Saturday, May 31st. You're going to have to excuse me. I got a little bit of a cold going on, so I might sound a little nasally here, but it's been over a month since we've done a live stream here. I think Brayton will be joining me soon, but I just want to go over our product updates because this last month has been crazy. The SharpMoney team has been going absolutely wild with updates. So I'll go over some of the updates, talk about some future projects. Always here to answer your questions. So I know we have a lot of new members that just joined, so please feel free to leave some comments in the chat. I'll definitely answer them. And then to wrap up the stream, we'll find some positive EV plays using the new and improved Discord bot. So first of all, the updates are, number one, we have historical graphs back. So we are tracking line movement of the sharp books like Circa, Bookmaker, Pinnacle. We can kind of paint the picture of the odds movement, where the sharp books are trending, and really get ahead of some lines. Along with that, which is probably our biggest update, is our Pinnacle limits. So we are now tracking historical Pinnacle limits. So you can see when Pinnacle raises their limits, which gives you a really good idea of if you see a Pinnacle limit go up and then a price drop, it's a good indicator that sharp action was waiting for a higher limit. So really important stuff there. And we're going to really educate all of our members on how to kind of read those charts, because I know they're a little different than normal. Along with that, we have the charts for all the major sports now. We have every soccer league, tennis league, MLB, NFL, NHL, all the major leagues we have. And we have graphs and data for those. We just added a couple exchange books, NoVig and ProfitX, which is huge. And along with Onyx Odds, which is a sweepstakes book similar to Fliff. They do move their odds very fast. I think Fliff even has... Or Fliff has like an auto mover now where they're harder to beat. And here's Brayton, so I'll just finish these updates, but I'll add them in here. Onyx Odds is tough to hit. I feel like I'm only hitting like 25% of the lines that get posted there, but when they do come up, they're definitely good plays. But exchanges have been really good so far. I found a lot of value on both ProfitX and NoVig on the main line, so good stuff there. That's kind of the update of what we have going on. I'll talk about future projects in a second, but what's going on, Brayden?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Cool.
How's your month going? I know you kind of dipped a little bit, but I've seen the last couple of days you're clawing back.
Yeah, it seems like it's coming back. Man, I started off pretty good, and I was up midway through May, probably 25 units, and then man, dipped to where it was like I was up like a unit, and then climbing back. Like I think as of this morning, I'm up maybe 12, 13 units, and barring no disaster today, we should finish in the green. So
that's great. I was having a really rough month. I was down like 2K. It was like almost 3 weeks straight of losing, and now I'm up almost 8K. These last 2 weeks have been insane.
It's so crazy. The last few months for me have just been so crazy. It's just huge swings, huge ups, huge downs. I don't know. It's just, I guess that's just variance, man.
Yeah, when there's thousands of plays being posted a day and you're taking 100 and I'm taking 100, like we probably only have like 20 plays that even match. So it's just how it happens. But I will say that two things that have coordinated with my huge upswing is the updates on the bots and me getting sick, having a time off of work and just sitting on my computer and betting all day.
Yeah.
So those might have a factor of why I've been playing so good. But
yeah, I'm trying to I'm really just getting frustrated with the variance. So I'm trying to literally just take bot plays the last week or so, just no player props, just bot plays, just good charts, just trying to even this out and see what happens with it. But I think that's the route that I want to take, just to kind of get rid of some of this up and down.
Yeah, exactly. Go back to the basics, what we kind of always say, right?
Yeah.
Firecat in the chat. Good morning, man.
Yeah, I got away from even taking like golf plays, even though I'm up. Like golf's been great, but like I just want to dial completely into the bot, get that working for me, and then venture out again.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, Chap's the perfect example where you just stick to the bot and he does nothing else.
Yep.
All right. So that's a little recap of our recent update. I'm sure I'm missing something because we've had so many updates in the past month and a half. So there's a lot of stuff there. But future updates, next project we're kind of working on, first we're going to stabilize these bots, make sure we have no more little bugs and just like dumb little things, because we've been having so many errors the past few months it was mostly to do with our API and data. But now we have our own database where everything is way more stable. So we should be good on like bugs happening. But going forward, we have the UFC market that we started paying for. So we have data for UFC. We just haven't built a bot for it yet. So that'll be very soon. I think we need to hash it out on what our DVIG process is going to be. And we'll probably talk to some more people about this, but Bet Online seems to be like the number one source. So we'll definitely be weighted heavily for UFC to bet online odds. I know a lot of people just DVIG straight to Bet Online, but we'll see there. We'll also have graphs for that, so you can kind of see which way Bet Online is moving, which will be nice. And on top of that, our props, we're going to get those graphs back on those, like the MLB baseball prop. We don't have graphs there right now, so we are going to add those in, and that'll be just a good indicator on making good plays on props, obviously. All right, we got a couple of questions here. All right. You want to answer this one, Brayton?
Sure. So how do you determine whether to take half Kelly or quarter Kelly, and is it confidence? So for me, but I've been following the bot plays since last April, so pretty comfortable with what the plays are being spit out. So on the main bot, I go half Kelly on just about everything, and at this point, with limits, we're pretty much maxing, taking as much as the book will allow us. However, if I didn't have limits, I'd be comfortable going half Kelly on the main bot, quarter Kelly, or even eighth Kelly on player props. I just find that there's so much variance, and I don't take a ton of prop bot plays, to be honest. So,
yeah, I haven't taken prop plays or too many prop plays in a while, just because the limits are low. So it's like not worth my effort too much to hit them. But if you still can get down whatever you like basically want, I would be comfortable playing half Kelly on the main lines with good trends. Like that's where you want to get down the most money.
Sure.
And quarter Kelly on maybe some charts that don't look great. Maybe only like one sharp book in that DVIG process, or maybe the props like go quarter Kelly. I'd honestly go eighth Kelly on some props. Like if you're betting goal scorers or like anything that's like a little bit like plus 200 range, then I'd probably be going like eighth Kelly, to be honest. But here's Chris's take on it. Basically, if I only see one sharp book trending well, take a quarter. Otherwise, two books, I'll do more. Yeah, I mean, that's basically exactly what I just said. I didn't even read that until now. So, yeah, it's a confidence level thing. We're confident in main markets. So not only can you look at the trend now, but also the limits. So you can be way more confident betting a line that is DVIG'd with Pinnacle if they have a 10K limit versus if their limit is 100. So I said that's what kind of I love about our Discord is like, I got no problem hammering 1% plays because we can see the limits and how the odds are moving. So if it's a 10K limit at 1% EV, like I'm fully confident to place like half Kelly on that, go a little bit more aggressive.
And I think as you go, you'll start being more mindful of the market or the sport, right? So right now with MLB, I'm okay if it's just a penny line. Like if it's just DVIG to penny, I'm confident in penny. When we get to the fall and we start seeing more college sports, college football, things like that, you may want to see a second sharp or a third sharp to be really confident in it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing with Pinnacle too, is they have all these alt lines. And so like, you're not going to see Circa bookmaker showing first 5 total runs of like over 6.5, like some alt line that's like plus 150. Circa bookmaker aren't going to have those odds. So all you're going to get is a Pinnacle DVIG, which is fine. So yeah, it just gives you even more confidence when you see all three. It's a main market. Typically those markets are something you can really get down on as well. So like me and Brayton were saying, as limited bettors, we typically just max. But if you're finding money line bets, or you're finding like regular spread bets, then I don't always max those because those limits are still probably in the thousands for me sometimes, even at like the really crazy limits, at least on FanDuel. MGM, I'm still like, I have $100 max bet there on pretty much the mainline stuff, but still. All right. That's all the questions for now. I'm going to hop over to our Discord. We can start looking through some plays. I haven't really hit any plays today, so we'll just start on MGM. Okay. So Math Wins is on this one, so that'll give you some confidence to play. This is sharing my screen, right? All right, perfect. All right, so here's a play right here in MGM. We got Cubs Reds, which is our first game. This is under 6, so it's an alternate line. We can get this on MGM for plus 185. It's almost a 2% EV play to Pinnacle, and they've kind of done a little weird movement here where they've gone from that plus 172 number up to 186 and then got priced back down. So what I see here is, you see Brayton just hopped in on that, so I think he's going to like this one, is the limits. This white line is the Pinnacle limits going up. So they started at, this was last night at 3 a.m., $1,500 limits is where they opened this line. And they've been increasing their limits. And it looks like right when they jumped, this most recent jump to 3.75K max bet on their sportsbook. I mean, he got tanked down from plus 186 all the way down to 171. So to me, that's a good movement of Pinnacle limits going up and then the price dropping, which is basically exactly what we want to see here. So this is one that you could go a half Kelly with if you could actually get your units down. So this is about a half unit play. Let's see if I can actually load this one up and get this in. Did you just place that bet, Brayton?
Yeah, $61.
Under 6 plus 185. I'm sure I have the same limits as you.
Yeah, 61.13, I think it was.
I'll go. MGM is pretty good because I don't think they cut you off too much worse than what we're seeing right here.
Yeah, and they let you ladder, so that's good too. So it's definitely still a book that I use pretty often.
Yeah, I was able to get down. I got like 2,500 in here now, but I only had like $1,000 in there not long ago because I wasn't finding plays. But now that MLB is here,
yep, I find that too.
Yeah, I burned through my money so quick. I had to reload.
Since baseball started, since baseball started, I've been hitting them a lot more.
Cool. So one other thing that's cool in our Discord, once you take a bet, you hit this place bet button and it puts your name on this list so you don't accidentally double bet the same play. Other cool thing is when I click the place bet button, I actually send it to my channel under the callouts. This is in premium. So you can go and see all of my plays that I've taken from the bot, which is a good example of just like looking at really good charts and like what I'm looking at. So I just took that play and now it's popping up here. So if you're new to the Discord and you're kind of looking for like what plays I should be taking, literally just scroll through my bot plays and look at like the type of the plays that I'm on. You can also set your notifications up to where when I take a play, it tells you what I'm on.
Switch your screen. You still on MGM?
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just explain it.
Yeah, if you want to show them your bot plays.
So under the call out section, there's my bot plays, and that's the play I just took. But this is all the plays I took yesterday. I haven't placed any today, so all the plays I took yesterday. But these are just pretty much textbook charts, plays that you should be taking. So if you're new to the Discord, just check that out so you can have a good understanding of what's a good looking chart. So anything else on MGM? This one is interesting. So this is a Circa open. So Circa, yeah, it's an opener. So they opened this line at like 9 a.m. So only like a half hour ago. Circa opened up at minus 135 for this Mets minus 1.5. Bookmaker and Pinnacle don't have a line here. So this is a straight DVIG to Circa. That's why we're not seeing any line movement or limits. It's because Circa opened here at minus 135 and they haven't moved their price once since they've opened. This is a play that I will take because it's 2% EV to Circa. Circa's a really sharp book, way sharper than MGM. So if Circa is pricing this at minus 135 and we can get it 20 cents better on MGM, then I'm taking it. This is actually a first half run line, so it's not even a full run line. So I doubt my limits are that good here.
I'm glad you mentioned that because really I've been kind of just look at charts. So this is something I just pass up. Like I don't really even read into it.
Just skip over it. It's not like I said, it's a stable. It's just
they opened up. I mean, it's a good value at the time of open. So and the game's only 5 hours away.
Exactly. Total corners. So this is a soccer bet. I'm not gonna be able to get down any money here, so I'm just gonna skip that one. Here's a chart that I would not take. An EV play that I would not take.
Switchback.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here's a play that I would not take here. So it's an EV play to Pinnacle, but the movement is the opposite direction we want. So if we look at this, we can get this on MGM at plus 185, and Pinnacle is currently at 172. So if you look at it just numbers wise, this looks like, it's probably a good play. But if we actually look at the chart here, it's not a huge movement. Actually, it's from plus 170 to plus 172, but you never want to see Pinnacle increasing their payout on the side that you're going to bet. It's just basically they're almost baiting people to take that side more because they're offering better payouts. So you want to see charts go down. So yeah, just a play that I would skip there. And that's it for MGM. Plays in our Discord, they clear automatically once the value is removed. We have basically a bot that sweeps all of our channels every like 5 minutes to clear out dead plays. So sometimes you'll see empty channels. I don't know if we actually have an empty channel right now because there's so many games going on. Yeah, there's no empty channels. Here's one. So if you open up a channel and it looks like this, you're not locked out of it. There's just no value currently on Onyx odds right now. So let's go to, I'm going to go to FanDuel just because I know I can get down here. All right, and here is, we got some, I'll scroll to the top. Oh, wow, there's a lot of plays. These are from last night. All right, let's look at plays more this morning. They're closer to now. All right, here's a good one. That one's dead, I guess. Maybe these corners aren't clearing. All right, here's one that I took. I'll just talk about it. Astros versus the Rays. It's the first half total runs over 5.5, plus 152 on FanDuel. Looks like a lot of our members grabbed this one, but clear indicator here. This is exactly what you want to see. Limits go up and then price gets tanked down. So good stuff there. All right, let me just look at the current ones, I guess.
What's up, fellas?
Oh, it sounds like Jay's in here. What's going on,
Jay?
How y'all doing today?
Doing good, doing good. All right. Any other questions? Monica is in the chat. What's going on? How you doing today, Jay?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Betting wise, I'm not. Stay off of any plays if you see my name on it.
Man, that's rough, man. Seeing some of your charts, that's rough.
I know it is rough. My volume's also been pretty low, so I'm kind of just pushing it off as I'm just in this bad stretch.
You know,
Yeah.
sometimes we talk about variance and we talk about, the difference of taking 1,000 bets, 10,000 bets, 100,000 bets. It's like, I kind of see it now. It's like my first 12 months was just straight up. And then the last like 6 months has been up and down, really trending down. But it's like, where am I at? Maybe 20,000 bets, all time. So like variance is a real thing.
It's yeah, the variance sucks, especially when you're putting in so much time and effort.
Yes.
Like, so I went on a stretch where I think it was 4 or 5 months where I lost like all my profits for 4 months. So like I look back, I was like, since September, I haven't made a profit, and I've put in a ridiculous amount of hours doing this,
Yeah,
and
I
that just
remember
like
that.
kills you. I think Jay too. You said you've lost like 6 months of profit, and it's like,
Yeah.
you look back and you're like, damn, I just wasted like all my time.
Yeah. Currently, so I haven't seen any new amount to my bankroll. December 4th was like my peak. Like last year, I had a 7% ROI on like 7,000 bets. I was doing great last year. I had it nailed in. December was pretty flat for me, but this year I was break even until about 6 days ago. The last freaking week has been terrible for me. I'm down like 10 units, I'm down 12 units on the year. Doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
No.
And so I'm waking up early, taking bets. I'm trying to get them when I can. Just
Yeah.
I've been pretty busy with life too, so I'm kind of writing that off.
Yeah. You've been through it before, where I remember 1 month you lost like 30, 40 units in a month. And then,
Yeah, that was January.
yeah. And
That's where I'm back at January's low now, which sucks. But I mean, yeah, January was so tough for me.
Yep.
I only rebounded because morning grind went crazy for a week.
Yep. I'll talk about this play because this one's really good on MGM also. This one just pinged. Blue Jays and the Athletics here. First half total runs over 5.5 plus 130 on MGM. Pinnacle is at 119, and they just dropped from, they were priced at plus 126. They dropped all the way down to plus 119. So a nice little 7-cent movement, and it also correlated with a limit increase, which is pretty much exactly what we want to see here. So although the EV is small, this is a play that I'd be very confident in. These are honestly the plays that I might even round up on, where it's like half Kelly says 0.5 units. I might go 0.75 if I could there.
Yeah, be aware I'm taking this bet, so.
Be aware. All right, DraftKings is empty. Damn.
Can y'all get down on? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. I was gonna
say on MGM for WNBA, I have not been able to get down like over $7-8.
Yeah,
no, it's brutal. FanDuel is the only book worth betting into for WNBA, I think, if you're limited. Well, besides the exchanges, obviously, but that market has been all over the place.
That market scares me. Because you'll see great line movement. Check an hour later, and you're cooked, and then it may turn like before the game starts. It's all over.
I think there's huge market manipulation going on with people. I think that market is just so easily influenced right now, and especially at like 1 or 2K limits. I think people that are building models are just actually at 1 or 2K limits. I think they're forcing the line the wrong way and then hitting it back the other way.
I mean, it opens up like you might be the morning of the game and it's still $500 limits. I mean, you have to be careful not to bet those too early because those limits are so small.
Yeah, the first week I was hitting like all the WNBA bets because I was excited, and then I realized that most of my bets were flipping on me, and then I started just like watching the charts, and I could see these low limits like clearly tanking one direction, and I'm like, this is gonna flip, and then it just does. I'm like, so I'm not taking anything with low limits right now. So I don't know if that's going to change throughout the season, but it's something to keep an eye on. My threshold for WNBA is 3K Pinnacle limits. That's kind of, I don't think the market's going to.
That's also where I'm at too. I was taking a lot of WNBA in the morning. I try to get a good bit of bets in the morning. Like yesterday, Seattle Storm -5 pinged. I got it at 110. I checked like 25 minutes later. I had 9% on it. I checked back 2 hours after. I saw Cobbs mentioning something about it, and the bet was like -6%. I said, "Yeah, I gotta lay off these lines."
Yeah.
Robbie, so we have a good question in the chat from Lucky Lobster, but I think he might have been referring to a play on FanDuel where the penny line was kind of up and down.
This one?
Yeah. So he said, walk me through your thought process on a graph with a ton of movement up and down. Should I be focusing on the first and last ping in general for the overall trend?
So like this one's only moving 6 cents back and forth, so it's not overly drastic here. So I would honestly call it more like you do want to look over, like most of the time I will look overall picture from like left to right, just see how it's moving. This one, I don't know when I took this bet, so I could have been looking at a different looking chart because it could have been earlier in the day. But basically, I would blanket the no vig value like somewhere in the middle of this chart. So one thing I don't like to do when I'm seeing a chart going up and down, if the Pinnacle is at the bottom, right, they're priced at 171 now, and now we have an EV play coming up. I actually don't think it's the time to take it, because Pinnacle is kind of setting their lowest price right now. And if they pop back up to 176, then we no longer have an EV play. So sometimes when I see these charts popping up and down, I would almost rather see the last ping be on the top where it's showing like the least amount of value to Pinnacle, if that makes sense. And I'm assuming it's going to drop back down. So I don't know if I explained that too well, but basically if I can get value when Pinnacle just spiked back up, when it's clearly going up and down, then I would take it. But now that it's like on the bottom here and it's only a 1.5% edge, like I'm not saying stay off this play, but I just don't love it.
And I think this is not like the best example because your limits are so low. So like if this was, NBA game and you saw the limits pop up to 10K, you're going to see a little bit more movement in one direction or the other to where you can really make a decision, I think.
Yeah.
So this is a small limit, but what I see is I see Pinnacle tested the water for that plus 170 and it got hit. Seeing that it went back though on the higher limit, it does look a little enticing.
It
But I think
does.
the other side was getting hit whenever it was down low.
Yeah, so that's a good way to read markets as well. I think Jay made a good point. Like this got tested basically, it went up to 177 and it got priced down. So meaning people were finding value at 177. Whether the limit's so small here, so it's hard to talk about whether that there's really value there or not. But let's just say it was like a 10K limit. If I see something get priced down from 177, then I can almost assume that sharp bettors are hitting that at 177 on Pinnacle, and then I can almost assume that that price is my fair value because it got priced down. So I think that's kind of the point you were making, which is a really good point. Oh wow, we can really zoom in there. But yeah, small limit play. So also just something you might not want to touch because it's $300 limits.
Monica, she said, "Where did the hot hitters go?" Yeah, Monica, I'm sorry about that. I have been struggling. I'm trying to focus on mainly getting my bets out. So
Yeah.
I've opted a lot of my time to just strictly betting. I haven't even been chatting that much in chat. I'm just trying to get the volume when I can. Last couple of days have been tough, so I'm trying to just right the ship before I continue with the hot hitters. But the hot hitters is the only thing that's been profitable for me this month, so I might have to start it back up.
Right.
Just go back to just that.
Here's a good one too, actually. Decent one. A little movement here, but this is on rebet. This is a team total for the Rockies here, over 2.5 plus 104. Pinnacle kind of got priced down with these higher limits at 1K. Kind of small limits here again, but this is a bet that I would take. And it's on. I'm gonna bet it on my phone here on rebet. Have you been hitting these? You have rebet, right, Brayton?
No, I used to.
Oh,
But
you don't?
no, I guess Rebet figured out that it was never legal in Louisiana, so they just pulled it.
They just pulled it. I wonder if you
they
can
did pull it. I tried to get on it, and I was just a couple days too late.
Damn, gotcha.
I got locked out all of a sudden and had to do like a manual request for my money back.
No, it's a pain. All right, well, I'll place this one on my phone.
Right. I'm gonna be right back, guys.
Sounds good. Yeah, so you guys are both from Louisiana, and you don't have exchanges or any of these sweepstake books, huh?
Yeah, so we're stuck to like strictly the soft retail, which I mean you could say it's good to start out with, but now you see the once the limits hit, we don't really have much of another outing.
What about like offshore books like Bovada and
yeah, I've seen Bovada clip a few people. I haven't ever tried Bovada.
Bovada does limit people very fast from what I've seen.
The one that I did use was my bookie, but they're kind of sketch. I had to wait a while back. I had to wait a little too long to get some money out.
Yeah.
So I get a little skeptical about them.
Yep. Here's a really good chart. This is on Novig. So I have to put this one on my phone too, because Novig doesn't have a website. But here's a really good play where we have the Dodgers Yankees under 9.5. We got plus 101 on Novig. Circa is at minus 115. Pinnacle minus 107. Bookmaker minus 113. So 16 cents better than Circa price. 12 cents better than, or 14 cents better than Bookmaker. And you see these odds are dropping fast. So
Yeah.
I would be kind of shocked if this plays even here for me. So let me check. And it depends on how much liquidity is there as well. So,
man, I wish I had Novig.
I know this is
That's the perfect chart right
for you
there.
to watch. So we got Dodgers Yankees under 9.5.
Yeah, Falco, that's from 34 units to down 2.4. That is very tough in 12 days, 13 days. That is a pretty drastic slide, actually.
Yeah, that sucks. Falco's been around for a while. Don't know what's wrong. Yeah, up 34 units. and now down 2. So damn. I mean, you're barely down in the month, so hopefully you can turn it around here. But
Yeah. I'm kind of curious, what was your ROI whenever you were up 34 units? Sometimes people don't realize that they're actually overextended and a drawback is coming. You can't get around it. It's going to come. Like whenever you have a 10, 12% ROI, that's just too high for a lot of people. I'm not saying that was your ROI, but most people don't realize green every single month, your ROI gets higher than your average, so it's always going to come back down.
yeah. Francis asked about betting some no home runs at minus 650. I've been testing something with that, but yeah, those have been working, but I won't go into too much detail on those. All right, let's go.
I want to
That
add
no
to
play
I heard
disappeared.
y'all talking to T Falco. I started questioning myself too about, do I know what I'm doing? And I I've been around enough. I do know what I'm doing, but it's normal to start thinking maybe your process isn't correct when you start seeing these variants. It is. You know what you're doing. You've been around a long time. It's just one of those stretches we all got to go through, and we got to get out of it. So just keep doing what you're doing. It's going to come back.
Yeah, as long as your CLV is there, it's going to bounce back for you.
Yeah, it won't come back if you quit though, so don't do
True.
that.
Here's one on Onyx odds. Yankees money line plus 102. Looks like the market's starting to really move towards them.
Do we have Onyx down here? I have to check that
It's
out.
a sweepstakes book again. So
No, I tried. Yeah,
Wow.
we don't have anything, Jay.
Yeah, we don't get anything good.
kind of telling you guys. All right, let's see. Even like Fliff has been good for me. Like, yeah, I just have more options than you guys, which kind of sucks. This one moved to minus 110 also, so that one bumped quick too.
So in the comments, we have Scott Cross. He didn't realize how brutal NBA playoffs would be. Yeah, man. I mean, the end of the postseason, and we're coming with the Pacers to the championship. This postseason has been a different one for sure.
Yeah, let me look at.
I had the Celtics going all the way. I mean, I think everybody did, along with OKC. But just to see the Pacers that far, Minnesota, how they played, it's been a little unpredictable as far as players go.
And I'm not a huge NBA guy, but it does seem like these games are not close in one direction or the other. Like they flip flop, and it's not like we're looking at 2-3 point games where everybody it's 15-point games every night.
Yeah. When did the playoffs start? Because I had the same. I was killing the NBA this year up like $5,000, and then I think around playoff times I just been getting smoked.
Well, and then right before the regular season ended, it started getting tough too. So that's that stretch right there.
Got some bad variants there.
Yeah, I always look at it like realistically, there's only about the middle of the season for it to be very profitable and to be good. The beginning of the season gets rocky, the end of the season gets rocky, teams not playing, injuries, trades,
Yeah, I agree. The middle of the season is probably prime time for even EV betting or even originating, probably just the most data and the most predictability.
No, Falco, I agree. I think the Knicks could pull it off. I was just saying the Pacers because, man, they were like, not saying they're a bad team, but the way Hallie has played this year, I just did not expect them to make it. But now I think they have the ball rolling. They have all momentum right now.
Here's a little interesting chart. I don't know if you guys would take this one. So Knicks Pacers over 111. You would take this one?
Yeah, I did take it. I didn't click the bets taken. Sorry.
Yeah. So like overall trend has been good. Last couple hours, it's gone from 139 to 132. So not crazy. Limits just went up, doubled. So from 1,500 to 3,000. The other way I like to see limit increases is the book's not going to increase their limit if they're not confident where their line is at. So they're priced at this minus 133 right now. They increased their limit on this minus 133. So it does show like the book is confident raising their limits at the current prices they're offering on both sides of the line. So to me, I can trust this a little bit more. And if you look at the overall market this is one that would look left to right, then you're seeing a good movement from, this was minus 122 and now it's minus 133. So overall, the direction of betting has mostly been in favor of the over here. So yeah, this is a play that I would take, not like a crazy slam dunk type of play, but definitely a play that I'm going to take a stab at here.
Yeah, I think it's just good to get the volume. The way I was looking at it is, so you see around 5, 6 a.m., we have two more drops. We go from the 127 to it looks like about 132 and then the 135. And then we see that big drop. And then we go back up and we test the 132 and it comes down to 133. I think we're finding closer to a true fair value here in the 134-ish range. That's where it keeps on really bouncing at.
I agree.
And I'm hoping to actually see this drop a little bit further with the limits going up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the market's still going to have some shaping up to do. It's probably going to move off of this number quite a bit, but definitely, I think a good spot to get in on. So
I'm happy to hear y'all thought process. I would not take this yet, but it makes sense with what y'all are saying.
If the recent upward movement came with a limit increase somewhere in this mix,
then you would stay away.
Correct. But I kind of look at like the limit, the whole chunk of one limit. So this whole white line at 1500, that's a move to me. So it's minus 121 down to minus 133. That's like that move at 1500. That's kind of my way of looking at it.
Yeah, I see they're balancing in that 134 range, 133, and they're like, hey, we're comfortable here. Let's raise this limit.
Yep. It really is kind of an art, and it's not like my opinion is correct and someone's opinion is wrong. So and there's not like just a blanket way to attack it. It's like you got to use some logic and figure out kind of like your own little strategy.
I'm looking for the movement after the limit increase is kind of what I want to see.
Yeah,
that's what I would say is a good play and like a no doubter. Like we don't even need to have a conversation about those.
Right.
Yeah.
And also I'm trying to dial in a little bit. I'm trying to be a little bit more confident in everything I'm taking right now. So
exactly. So yeah. So if you're going through a phase where you're losing, you're struggling, then stay off bets you aren't certain of. Like that's just clear day. I feel hot right now. I feel like I can't lose. I'm taking anything that looks like decent.
All right, chaps.
Yeah, right. Chaps would be like, he doesn't even look at the chart.
What are y'all talking about? There's a chart?
Yeah, he hasn't seen one yet.
Yeah, I don't know. His type of volume scares me.
He bets like 200 bets a day.
The other day he had 100 bets and I had like 16.
Yeah, limits are crazy.
How?
Here's some corners.
Caesars has a pretty textbook chart right now. It's over 172. And the WNBA.
Yeah, there's actually two really good charts here. This is like
I see that
one at 2K limits though. Like this is like right at that range for me.
Yeah, I see people are biting on it. So it looks like I think they were trying to fake it out on the lower limits. We see it was at 125 and they raised it all the way up. The limits go up and then they hammer it down.
Yeah, so I think some shady stuff is happening in this 2K limit. So like I would have probably looked at this line. I would have bought it probably when it hit minus 133. And then I can almost guarantee you it's just going to spike back up, to be honest. That's just what I've seen. I've been taking these plays for the first couple of weeks and I've been not doing well in them. So
same.
I just think it. And then like, if you look at this overall direction, it's almost like
flat.
It was going up and down and then higher up and down and then higher up. And then all of a sudden it just got tanked at once. So it wasn't like the whole market was hitting it down like over a long period of time. It looked like these very, very sharp drops might just be a group or one big better hammering the limits down, because if it was like multiple groups over the course of a day, you wouldn't see these steep drops. It would be kind of a small,
steady. Yeah,
that's how I kind of view it too. Because it was looking like everything was trending upwards. Like this is like, I would say almost a more stable chart is when the price is getting priced up and down, but it continues to move one direction where it's like testing as it's going. And then this one just got kind of nuked here. But I've just seen too much weird stuff happen in the WNBA with 2K limits. So I don't know. This one is a play that I would love though. Small limit. So one thing I don't love about it, but Kansas City Royals under 1.5 runs for the first half. Pinnacle has been moving downwards from like -143 down to -156. Limit increased with a little bit of a drop. And we see Bookmaker open up their opener for this market at -160. So they open up even lower than Pinnacle. So really good stuff here. 2.78% EV. I'm going to hit this one, and I'm probably going to get down like $3. So we'll see.
On Caesars?
Yeah. See, I don't even have Caesars is my worst book when it comes to limits.
I have no limits on Caesars, but I also lost like 10 grand to them in like the last couple months. They
Yeah,
just
been kicking your ass.
Yeah, dude.
My Caesars limit on all team totals is $40.
That's not too bad. Team totals are small. All right, let's see. It's probably gonna be like $10 by the time. I'm not even gonna place it actually. Screw it. I'd rather look at more plays. All right. Fanatics. All right. So here's one I would play. So this is a WNBA ping, and this is at our 3K limit now. So now I kind of trust it a little bit more. It's really not that much of a movement, actually, 5 cents up and down here. But I would take the Dallas Wings plus 185 minus 3.5 on Fanatics. I'm going to try getting that one in. Limits are high enough where I don't think anything weird's going on in this market.
I don't know why I did this, but I saw that I took the Sky money line like over yesterday for today. I must not realized.
Oh, yeah. You probably saw it yesterday.
Let me see what it looks like.
Probably up or down 20% EV in one day.
No, it's a negative EV, but it's only 0.5%. So.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
$16 max bet and Fanatics for me there. Fanatics is a very quick book to limit as well. I'm skipping over like the soccer corners right now. I can get a little money down on FanDuel, but for me, the other books, just not worth logging into and placing the bets.
Yeah, Fanatics has me clipped also. They did raise it for a little bit though. For a while, I was able to get like $30 and $40 on bets, but that was just like for 4 days.
Yeah, somebody screwed up, and all of a sudden, us limited bettors on Fanatics started getting like $100, $200 promos, and then it went away again.
Really?
Yeah, I get those too sometimes. Right now, my page loads and says I have promos at the top, but whenever I click it, it says not eligible for me. Even though I'm logged in, it still shows them. Normally, they go away whenever you log in.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that is tough with, or here's a play that I'm going to take right here, but I'm going to buy the rest of the liquidity on it. So,
Hey, Monica, for the desktop link for Caesars, try the mobile link through the bot on desktop. That's what I just did, and it actually pulled it up, but I didn't know my login information.
Gotcha. Yeah, I tried hitting the link to it, didn't work.
But try mobile, and we'll have to get that fixed.
Yeah. So here's a play I took on Novig, but so this is kind of the issue with the exchanges is, especially when we have limited bettors like myself, like taking it. So it does look like 3 guys got in on this bet at plus 123 odds, but there was only $125 of liquidity left at this price. So I snatched that up. So this bet will clear because there's no more liquidity. But kind of we're competing against each other in the Discord where, you know, if I get to a market that only has $200 in it,
Yeah.
I'm taking it all.
Hey, Dimes, go back to the DraftKings bet slip real quick. Now look at what Bookmaker opened at. So it seems Pinnacle set the line, and that's the line we were just talking about where I think Pinnacle, they're certain where they're at.
That's actually very
It's
nice
really-
to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the exact play. Our chart just updated. So we just took, what did we get this price at?
Y'all had over 111.5 at minus 119, I think.
Oh, okay, so it's a
I
different.
didn't even catch that. Yeah, that makes me
It's
feel a little bit better.
the chart is it's the same looking chart because like
It's the
all the
same thing.
totals, yeah, all the
Yeah.
totals, they're different points, but it's the same. Like it's gonna get priced the same way. But yeah, this is more of the main line here. But yeah, seeing bookmaker open up underneath Pinnacle when we just bet something based off the Pinnacle value, it was pretty clutch. So
I'm gonna take it now.
and then
No,
kind of
don't take it now. I tried to tell you before.
yeah, well,
I
this
could have got into 111, man.
so it's funny, like Brayton just said, like this is the chart that he wasn't going to touch a second
Yeah.
ago because the recent movement was up. But like now that
Now seeing
bookmaker's in
bookmaker.
there, or even
Yeah.
just looking at it zoomed out a little bit more, like forget bookmakers there. Like doesn't
Yeah.
it look like a way better trend with
Mhm.
I think it's because the chart with bookmakers in there, it's expanded the chart, so it's making
Yeah.
that move look a little steeper than the other chart did. So like but like without bookmaker here, it looks great. With bookmaker there, it looks like awesome. So I like that.
Yeah, you're
play a
right
lot.
though. I do always feel better with two sharps. So
Oh yeah, 100% sure. And openers like bookmaker knows Pinnacle is priced here, so for them
yeah,
to like aggressively price under them is like a clear
Right.
indicator that they're confident there. They did move up like 6 cents closer to the Pinnacle line, but
yeah.
I don't think they're gonna go past them. Oh, here's a big time play.
Oh, what book is that?
MGM Braves minus 1.5 plus 125. I'm gonna go place this bet before I talk about it more.
Yeah, I'm racing
It's
to
dead.
it.
Is that?
Yeah, it looks like
Damn.
Battleborn might have got in there. But yeah, this is a clear indicator. Circa dropping their odds, Bookmaker dropping their odds, Pinnacle dropping their odds. Great stuff.
Now, you said it was dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we just kind of look at it and talk about it, so here it says the fair value is plus 122. But if you ask me, I think the fair value is actually a little bit lower than plus 122. I'm not saying
Yeah.
I'm still taking this bet, but I think if we look at it, Circa, Bookmaker, both of them were at 120, and they felt like they're getting hammered, or at least they're getting hit on this 4,000 limit, so they need to go lower. So they both drop down to plus 111. Now, because Pinnacle is up, I can't lower the fair value too much lower than that, but I think Pinnacle is kind of hanging off here.
Yeah, I agree with that way of thinking that if it got priced off of a number, then that you can assume that number is like the fair value. So the bot might have flagged it at what would we say there, like 122 fair value. But if it got priced down at 120, that means people were finding value at plus
At
120
120,
odds.
yeah.
So that means I would want to bet it at plus 120 because that's a number that the books moved off of. They don't want to offer that value there anymore. So unfortunately, it moved 10 cents to plus 150.
Yeah, something like
this,
that. I know it'd be a big
correct.
move.
But if it did move, we wanted this bet at 125. But if it did move to plus 120,
Yeah.
I would
this
still
is still a
take it.
bet you could argue of taking, even though it would be a negative EV play on paper. That's why I think, like I said, I've placed some negative EV bets knowing like where the market is moving, and this is exactly the type of play that you can kind of take those risks on.
Yeah, but I only advise that for like the higher limit bets, really spreads.
Yeah. Especially 4K is
And all the retails are now at 115 and 114, so you're starting to kind of see
the market
them
moving.
react to it. Yeah.
Which makes 120 still look good.
Right.
Still look a little better.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could bet into Pinnacle. That's what I really wish.
Well, really, why you would take a play like this on Pinnacle?
Yeah, I probably would, to be honest.
122.
Well, it seemed like you would just be able to follow the steam on Pinnacle, right? If you got in at the right time.
Yeah, you could. The VIG is so low that as long as you get a little bit of movement, you overcome the VIG. So that's. But there's a website where we could add it, but I didn't even bring it up as
Bet 105.
Yeah, because I don't really want people betting into it because I think it'd be tough to beat. But there's a website called Bet 105. I actually did a little review of it on my.
It's another one we can't get, Jay.
Yeah, but it just follows Pinnacle odds, so it's good for people that are originating lines or even arbitrage betting.
Yeah, arbitrage.
Pinnacle, You could have just bet it on Bet 105 in the United States because we don't have Pinnacle to bet into. So I don't think it's good for plus EV. Maybe there are situations like the one we just looked at where you could bet into Pinnacle and make money EV betting. But the majority of the time, I think people would just lose if we had a plus like a Bet 105 bot.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Chase, if Ballybet still has it at 125, take it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Combi is so soft. Camby.
Yeah, Camby is
Yeah.
so soft. Hey, man, here's a clear play where limits just get crushed. But yeah, Camby. So I have Ballybet in Massachusetts. My max bet is like $3 on any market. So I don't even bother looking here. But Camby, if you have Bet Parks, Bet Rivers, or Ballybet, they're all Camby books. So if you're looking for one of those books, just use the Camby book because it's all the same odds. Trying to look for some mainline stuff. A lot of corner, a lot of good corner plays that I'm not touching.
Where at?
ESPN had some good ones.
I still have not taken a positive EV bet on my ESPN besides promos. I have full limits there. This month has been so tough for me. I might have to just open it up and hammer them for a
Yeah,
couple
you might have
days
to get
while I
some money
can.
back. Yeah,
I gotta
I
get
find
some money
ESPN
back.
so hard to bet baseball into, though. It's they move so quick in baseball.
They do.
Yeah,
they do move quick.
College basketball and stuff, I was able to use ESPN again, but I really can't do anything in ESPN anymore.
Yeah. All right. Probably gonna wrap it up here. I'm losing my voice, honestly. I've been this cold has been killing me. I've had it for like almost 2 weeks now. Maybe it's allergies. I don't know. But all right, you guys got any last remarks here?
No, man. Let's try to finish May strong. It's the 31st.
Yeah.
So.
Last day of May,
Yeah.
so hopefully everyone kills it.
I'm
I'll leave this
struggling.
promo code down here. If you sign up for any of our products, you can use SharpMoney Stream for 25% off the first month. So go ahead and use that code. But yeah, that'll do it. We should be doing this every Saturday. We should be able to get back on schedule doing the live streams every Saturday now.
We will get back on it.
Yeah, exactly. Now that our bot's working really well and we can kind
I
of
thought
show
today
it
was
off a little bit
a
more.
good time for it. With the new charts, it was a good time to kind of talk about a few things.
Yeah. So, all right. Appreciate you guys for joining the live stream and good luck. Hopefully make some money at the end of May here.
Thank you, everybody. Let's close out strong.